Europe's golfers have had a stunning series of victories today in the Ryder Cup at the Belfry. They're leading the United States by 2 points, and with 1 day to go, Europe have a strong chance of winning back the Cup for the first time since 1957. Europe began the day 1 point behind the Americans. Howard Clark helped make up the difference. A 55-foot birdie to shake the Americans and a dance of delight to celebrate. The morning's play depended on the last match. Lyle and Langer were 2 down at the 17th, but Lyle pulled one back. So an eagle for Lyle. America won up, and on the 18th, Craig Stadler only had to sink this putt for the United States to stay in front. Stadler couldn't believe it. No one could believe it. They will swear at lunch. In the afternoon, the Spaniards were unbeatable. Canizares rolls out. He and Rivero won their match at the 13th. Stadler's putting hadn't improved over lunch as he and Sutton crumbled against Ballesteros and Pinero. Ballesteros' tee shot at the 14th sealed it, and the American pair were forced to concede defeat. The last match was always close, but at the 15th, Bernhard Langer took his side 2 ahead. At the next hole, his partner Ken Brown put the match beyond doubt. A winning handshake for Europe, and they go into the final day, 2 points clear, and with a good chance of winning the Ryder Cup for the first time in 28 years. Manchester United made it 8 league wins out of 8 today as they beat City in the Manchester derby at Main Road. Brian Robson scored the first from the penalty spot after 7 minutes, and United went on to win 3-0 in front of 50,000 people. Kevin Sheedy scored Everton's first as they beat Luton 2-0 to move into second place, and Arsenal's Ian Allinson scored a penalty that beat Sheffield Wednesday at Highbury to put Arsenal third. Liverpool slipped back to 4th place, drawing 2-2 at Oxford, and Chelsea moved up to 5th after a 2-0 win over Southampton. Nick Morgan got the first in a 3-0 win over Stoke, which keeps Portsmouth clear in Division 2. Blackburn Rovers moved to 2nd, beating Wimbledon 2-0, Brighton won at Millwall, and Oldham played last night. In Scotland, Rangers stayed top of the Premier League thanks to a second-half goal by Bobby Williamson, which broke the deadlock against Clydebank. Their 1-0 victory keeps Rangers a point clear of Celtic. They beat Aberdeen 2-1 at Parkhead in today's big match in Scotland. And before that game and all other Scottish League matches, 1 minute's silence was held in memory of Jock Stein. He died shortly after Tuesday's Wales-Scotland match. Thousands turned up today not only to watch a match, but to pay homage to the big man of Scottish football. A referee stormed off the pitch in disgust after just 20 minutes of a rugby union match between Bristol and Newport. Policeman George Crawford had lectured both captains after a brawl between the forwards, and when there was another punch-up a few moments later, he walked off and told them to find another referee. A local referee took over, and Bristol won the match 21-14. Middlesex must tonight be favourites to win the Britannic County Championship. On the first day of the last matches of the season, second-place Hampshire struggled as knots piled on the runs at Trent Bridge, and the weather prevented third-place Gloucestershire from bowling out Surrey at the Oval. But Middlesex dismissed Warwickshire and are making a strong reply.
The home side made a promising start, but the collapse began soon after lunch. Wayne Daniel had Dennis Amis caught behind for 6. And Humpage swiftly followed him back to the pavilion. Asif Din was caught by Edmonds, and when Daniel bowled Smith for 1, Warwickshire were reduced to 109 for 6. Anton Ferreira and the surviving opener Robin Dyer fought back, but by tea Warwickshire were all out for 187. Middlesex openers Wilf Slack and Keith Brown made a solid start, and the championship leaders must be feeling optimistic.
Racing, Steve Cawthon rode oh so sharp to victory in the St Leger for his 4th classic win of the season. It was the 3rd for the filly, and her trainer Henry Cecil took his prize money for the season to more than £1 million. Peter Bromley is the commentator.
They're coming now to the last furlong. And Oh So Sharp has taken the lead. Lanfranco comes under the whip. Fardante running on strongly. Nemain is getting into the act. And the filly has the lead. Oh So Sharp. Oh So Sharp and Steve Cawthon from Fardante and Nemain, who's finishing fast. Lanfranco is beaten. Oh So Sharp is going to hold on. She's a half a length up. Oh So Sharp is the winner. And in second place comes Fardante and Lanfranco. Nemain is only fourth.
Finally, the 3:35 at Goodwood had a surprise entrant this afternoon. It was an amateur jockey, Princess Anne, racing for only the second time. Her mount, Little Sloop, began the race as 8-1 joint third favourite. But although the Princess led the field at the start, she couldn't sustain her challenge coming into the final straight. Peter O'Sullivan is the commentator.
Furlong pole, Spring in My Step with the advantage from Silk Imp, then comes just in behind them Zai as they race up towards the line, though. It's Spring in My Step who's gone well clear. Spring in My Step the winner. Zai is second. Third.
So, sixth place for Princess Anne. In her previous race at Epsom in April, she finished fourth. That's the news on One tonight from Mark and me. Good night.
This Week, Next Week, we'll be back tomorrow with live discussion about the most interesting issues of the week. David Steele and David Owen will be with me here to talk about their plan for transforming British politics. I'll be asking them about our poll of their most active members and about why they think alliance, rather than Labour or Tory policies, can halt Britain's decline. Is it a convincing case? Join me for This Week, Next Week at 1 o'clock on BBC One tomorrow.
Good evening to you. Well, the weather's got in a very unsettled mood now, I'm afraid. We can see this on the satellite picture. A good deal of cloud and rain out in the Atlantic pushing its way in towards us. In fact, down in southern counties at the moment, we've got this little front. That'll take a time before it clears away. But by this time tomorrow, it will have pushed away into the continent, still leaving us in these very strong, cool, showery winds. And out in the Atlantic, another frontal system, which has cloud and rain associated with it, racing its way in towards us. So, as far as the weather's concerned tonight, still a lot of showers, I think, up in northern and western parts, but many of the showers dying away inland, and the cloud right down in the south are gradually clearing away as we go through the night. Now, it's not going to be a cold night. Lowest temperatures about 9 or 10 degrees Celsius, around the 50 Fahrenheit mark. But one thing it will be, it'll be pretty windy, especially in the northwest. Well, tomorrow, I think showers from the word go in northern and western parts, some heavy ones too. But in many central and eastern areas, starting off dry with some bright or sunny spells. But the cloud will bubble up here. You'll get some showers coming along. But I think they'll be dying away inland as we go into the evening. A pretty cold day again, a pretty windy one too. Highest temperatures about 17 Celsius, 63 Fahrenheit. That's it. Bye-bye.
Well, now completing Saturday night's entertainment here on BBC One, Michael O'Keefe, Karen Allen and Peter Fonda star in the first ever showing on British television of Split Image.
You understand? Mr. Joshua is dead.
Discrimination. You misled on purpose.
Do you understand?
Joshua.
Not the Joshua.
I love you, Joshua. I love you, Joshua. I love you, Joshua. I love you, Joshua.
You understand?
I love you, Joshua.
Look down on the floor and Daddy is reborn. You understand? Do you understand? You're fucking dead, and Daddy is totally reborn. Joshua is dead! And Daddy is totally reborn. Do you understand?
I would love to destroy us. But they can't. Because we know the secret. The end of duality. The penetration of the infinite.
Daddy, are you in there, Daddy?